Life is short. It's a phrase we've all heard, yet too often we live as if time is unlimited. We put off dreams, settle into routines, and let distractions steal our days. But the truth is, every moment counts, and how we choose to spend our time defines the quality of our lives. In a world that constantly pulls us in different directions, the real challenge isn't just to live, but to live wisely and fully. Time is one of the few resources we can never replenish. Unlike money or material possessions, once a moment passes, it's gone forever. This reality makes it essential to prioritize what truly matters. Often, people fall into the trap of busyness, working long hours, keeping up with social obligations, or scrolling endlessly through social media, without asking whether these activities are actually meaningful. Being constantly busy doesn't always mean being productive or fulfilled. It's easy to confuse motion with progress, but they are not the same. To live wisely within the short time we have, it's important to identify what truly adds value to our lives. For some, this might be nurturing deep relationships with family and friends. For others, it might be pursuing a passion, learning new things, contributing to a cause, or simply spending time in nature. Prioritizing means making conscious decisions to allocate time to what aligns with our values, instead of letting life get filled by default with whatever demands the loudest attention. One way to do this is by regularly evaluating how time is spent. Taking a moment to reflect each day or week can reveal patterns. How much time is spent on things that bring joy versus obligations or habits that drain energy? Are the tasks we do each day building toward a life we want? If not, adjustments can be made. Sometimes this means setting boundaries, saying no to things that don't serve our purpose, or stepping away from commitments that no longer align with our goals. Technology, while helpful, often becomes a time thief. Hours can vanish while scrolling through feeds or reacting to notifications. Setting limits or being mindful of digital consumption can free up hours that can be redirected to more fulfilling pursuits. Time reclaimed from passive distractions can be reinvested into hobbies, meaningful conversations, or personal development. Living with intention also requires understanding that not everything urgent is important. The modern world encourages constant reaction to emails, messages, deadlines. But when everything is treated as urgent, the truly important things get crowded out. Prioritizing what matters often involves slowing down and choosing depth over speed, quality over quantity. It's also worth noting that what matters will differ from person to person. There is no universal blueprint. What's important is being honest with oneself about what brings meaning and joy. By aligning daily life with those priorities, a person can create a life that feels full, even if it's not packed. In the end, prioritizing what truly matters is not about doing more. It's about doing the right things. When time is spent on what aligns with personal values and brings genuine fulfillment, life becomes more intentional, less reactive, and ultimately more rewarding. Every choice, no matter how small it may seem, contributes to the shape and direction of a person's life. Decisions as simple as how to start the day, what to focus on, who to spend time with, or how to respond to challenges. These seemingly minor actions accumulate and define long-term outcomes. Often, people underestimate the power of daily habits and choices, believing that only big, life-changing decisions matter. But in reality, it's the quiet, consistent choices made over time that carve out a person's future. Being aware of this power means recognizing that each moment presents a new opportunity to choose intentionally. It's easy to fall into patterns driven by habit, convenience, or external pressure. For instance, choosing to watch television instead of working on a creative project might not seem significant once, but repeated over months, that choice could mean the difference between achieving a personal goal or not. The same applies to health, relationships, and even one's mindset. Choosing kindness over irritation, gratitude over complaint, or persistence over giving up. These are micro decisions that quietly build strength, resilience, and fulfillment. People often talk about having goals, yet overlook the choices that either support or sabotage those goals. A goal without aligned choices is just a wish. For example, someone might want a healthier lifestyle, but if their daily choices involve skipping exercise and eating poorly, the desired result becomes impossible. Being intentional with decisions means checking in regularly. Is this choice moving me closer to the life I want or further away from it? Another key element is the emotional weight of choices. Many decisions are made out of fear, guilt, or the desire to please others, rather than from a place of clarity and purpose. Living wisely involves pausing to ask, is this what I truly want? Is this decision rooted in values I believe in? When choices are guided by inner truth instead of outside noise, life becomes more aligned and authentic. People sometimes feel stuck in situations, forgetting that choices are still available, even if limited. Choosing an attitude, a new perspective, or a small step forward can shift everything. Not every decision has to be drastic. Even subtle shifts in behavior or thought patterns can lead to transformation over time. Life's complexity doesn't reduce the impact of choice, it enhances it. In complex situations, choosing integrity, calm, or reflection instead of reaction can make all the difference. Courage is often required when making wise choices, especially when those choices go against the norm or challenge comfort zones. But avoiding discomfort for the sake of ease often leads to regret. On the other hand, difficult but intentional decisions often lead to growth and satisfaction. Every day brings a fresh set of decisions that steer life's direction. While not everything is within personal control, the ability to choose how to respond, act, and move forward remains a powerful force. When choices align with values, they build a life of meaning and coherence. Living with purpose means making a conscious effort to align daily actions with a deeper sense of meaning, rather than simply going through the motions of routine. Many people wake up, go to work, handle their responsibilities, and repeat the same cycle without questioning why they're doing what they do. This autopilot mode often leads to a sense of emptiness or restlessness, even if life looks successful from the outside. When people lack purpose, they may find themselves chasing distractions, material rewards, or other people's definitions of success, only to realize later that they never truly felt fulfilled. Having a sense of purpose doesn't necessarily mean pursuing a grand mission or changing the world. It can be as simple as knowing what brings joy, what values are important, and how to live in alignment with them. For one person, purpose might mean raising a family with love and attention. For another, it might mean creating art, helping others, or exploring the world. The key is intention, living with a reason that feels personally meaningful and authentic. Breaking out of routine requires reflection. Many routines are formed out of necessity or habit, but without regular self-assessment, they can become cages. People often stick to routines because they're comfortable or familiar, but comfort doesn't always equal fulfillment. Asking questions like, why am I doing this? Or, does this still matter to me? Can reveal whether daily habits are serving one's deeper goals or merely filling time. When life is guided by purpose, even mundane tasks take on new meaning. For example, someone who sees their work as a way to support their family or contribute to society may approach the same job with more passion and presence than someone who views it only as a paycheck. Purpose turns routine into ritual. It transforms the ordinary into something significant. Fear often keeps people from living purposefully. The fear of failure, judgment, or change can make it easier to stay in routines, even when they're unfulfilling. But purpose gives courage. It offers a sense of direction in the midst of uncertainty. When someone knows what truly matters to them, it becomes easier to make hard choices, take risks, or say no to things that don't align. Energy also shifts when actions are connected to purpose. Tasks feel less draining and more energizing when they're aligned with personal meaning. This doesn't mean life becomes effortless, but it does become more rewarding. Purpose acts as a compass, offering clarity when life feels chaotic or overwhelming. It helps filter out distractions and keeps focus on what truly counts. To live with purpose, it's essential to slow down and make space for inner listening. Journaling, meditation, time in nature, or meaningful conversations can help reconnect with that inner voice. When people pause and reflect, they often rediscover passions or dreams buried under years of busyness. Choosing to live by purpose, rather than just routine, is a powerful step toward a life that feels deeply alive. Experiences have a profound impact on shaping a person's identity, memories, and sense of fulfillment. While possessions can offer temporary satisfaction, they often fade in value or relevance over time. In contrast, meaningful experiences, traveling to a new place, having a heartfelt conversation, learning something new, overcoming a challenge tend to leave a lasting emotional imprint. These are the moments that people look back on with fondness, the stories they tell, and the memories they cherish. Society often promotes material success as a primary goal: bigger houses, newer gadgets, more luxurious lifestyles. But countless studies and personal testimonies suggest that accumulating things rarely leads to lasting happiness. The joy of buying something new is often fleeting, soon replaced by the desire for the next item. Experiences, on the other hand, continue to bring joy long after they occur. Even imperfect or challenging experiences can become meaningful in retrospect, contributing to personal growth or providing important lessons. Choosing experiences over possessions also encourages presence. While objects tend to be static, experiences require engagement. Whether it's a simple walk in nature, attending a live event, or spending quality time with loved ones, these moments demand attention and participation. This active involvement deepens the emotional impact and strengthens connections with oneself, with others, and with the world. Shared experiences are particularly powerful in building relationships. People often bond more over things they do together than over things they own. A family vacation, a spontaneous road trip with friends, or a quiet evening of conversation can deepen connections in ways that material gifts rarely do. These shared moments create common memories that strengthen trust, intimacy, and understanding. Investing in experiences also encourages personal development. Traveling to unfamiliar places, trying new activities, or stepping outside a comfort zone all contribute to building confidence, empathy, and resilience. Experiences push people to grow in ways that possessions simply cannot. Even when experiences involve uncertainty or discomfort, they often lead to insights and stories that shape a person's character. There's also a simplicity and freedom in choosing experiences. While possessions require space, maintenance, and often lead to clutter, experiences tend to be lighter and more liberating. They encourage a shift in focus from ownership to engagement, from accumulation to appreciation. This mindset supports a more minimalist and mindful approach to living. Experiences can be tailored to any lifestyle or budget. It's not about extravagance. It's about intention. A meaningful experience can be as simple as cooking a meal with loved ones, volunteering for a cause, or watching a sunrise. What matters is the presence, the emotion, and the memory created. Ultimately, choosing experiences over possessions is a practice in valuing what truly enriches life. It fosters gratitude, deepens relationships, and builds a reservoir of moments that stay vivid long after material items are gone. When people look back on their lives, it's rarely the things they own that stand out. It's the moments they lived. Waiting for the perfect moment often leads to indefinite delay. People tell themselves they'll start pursuing their dreams someday, when they have more money, more time, more energy, or when circumstances are just right. But life rarely unfolds in a perfectly predictable or convenient way. Conditions may never align exactly as imagined. The idea of someday becomes a safe placeholder, a way to avoid the discomfort of starting something uncertain or challenging. Unfortunately, this mindset can stretch into years, and opportunities can pass by unnoticed or unused. Fear is one of the main reasons people postpone action. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of stepping out familiar. All of these create hesitation. Yet avoiding these fears often leads to a different kind of discomfort. The quiet ache of regret. What if the dream had been pursued, the risk taken, the voice followed? Many people look back on their lives and regret the chances they didn't take far more than the mistakes they made trying. The fear of starting is valid, but it should not outweigh the possibility of living more fully. Time has a way of moving faster than expected. The days feel long, but the years feel short. Delaying meaningful action in the hope of a better time ignores the unpredictable nature of life. Health, energy, relationships, and opportunities are not guaranteed to remain the same. The window for action may close while someone is still waiting for it to open. Embracing the present moment, even with its imperfections, becomes essential. Starting small can make the process less overwhelming. There's a misconception that pursuing a dream or goal requires a dramatic, all-in leap. In truth, small steps taken consistently often lead to significant progress. Writing one page, setting aside 10 minutes, reaching out to one person. These simple actions begin to build momentum. Progress doesn't demand perfection. It demands presence and persistence. By beginning now, even in a small way, a person shifts from waiting to doing. Living fully also means making space for what matters now. Postponing joy, rest, creativity, or connection for the sake of later accomplishments can rob the present of its richness. People often delay happiness, thinking it must be earned or reserved for after some achievement. But life is happening now, not after the next goal. Integrating small joys, meaningful activities, and purposeful actions into the current moment allows life to feel full along the journey, not just at the imagined destination. Taking action today builds confidence. Each time a person chooses to act rather than wait, they reinforce a belief that they can shape their life. That sense of agency fuels motivation and self-respect. It turns life into something actively lived, not passively observed. The longer one waits, the harder it becomes to break the habit of hesitation. Starting today, in whatever capacity possible, is the antidote to a life half-lived. Every moment carries a potential to begin again. In the end, life's brevity is not a reason to fear. It's a reason to focus. Every moment offers a choice to live with intention or drift through the days. When we prioritize what truly matters, make conscious decisions, break free from routine, value experiences over things, and stop waiting for the right time, we begin to live a life that feels rich, meaningful, and true to who we are. Time may be short, but when spent wisely, it's more than enough to create something beautiful.